Welcome back, everybody. We're joined by Gordon Young. He just wrote a book about Flint, and he's from Flint originally. The name of the book is Tear Down, Memoir of a Vanishing City. And Gordon, welcome.
Thanks, Joel. Glad to be here.
You, as we mentioned, were born in Flint, attended Powers Catholic High School, then moved away, went to San Francisco, became a writer and author. You wrote articles for the New York Times and others. And then you came back to Flint. And stayed here for a while to write this book. What did you find when you came back to your hometown?
Well, I found that there's a lot of well-documented problems in Flint that we've all read about, and people already all over the country know about that. And one of the things I found that was really encouraging as I met people out in the neighborhoods was that there are a lot of good people in Flint who have not given up on the city, and they're still fighting really hard to make it a better place, and that was inspiring to me.
When you go to a party in San Francisco and you say, yeah, I'm from Flint, what do they say?
Well, the good thing is almost everybody knows about Flint.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not for the greatest reasons, but it sparks a lot of conversations because so many things that are happening in Flint are a bellwether for what's happening in the rest of the country. So if people sort of imply that Flint's this isolated case with me, I point out to them that the problems Flint is facing are happening in cities all over the country, and Flint may be an extreme example, but it's not unique.
One of the issues, as we look at some of these pictures from the book, in Flint is the housing situation. Now, you bought a house in San Francisco. You go through that in the book.
Right.
And then you tried to buy a house in Flint. What was the difference between those two real estate situations there?
Well, I think we got to say the first difference is the price. So.
Yeah.
My girlfriend and I bought a 700 square foot house in San Francisco. It needed some foundation work. It needed a little work on the roof, and we paid $550,000 in 2004.
Dang.
Right, and everyone tells me what a great deal we got, which coming from Michigan, it's hard for me to kind of fathom that even now.
What about in Flint?
So Flint was sort of the exact opposite. I mean, we know you can get houses on eBay in Flint. You can at times buy houses by the dozen, like Don Donuts.
Yeah.
And it was just a dramatic shift for me to kind of adjust to that reality. And a lot of the houses, though, are in condition that you wouldn't want to live in, or you would have to spend so much money to rehab. Yeah. So even though the houses are cheaper, sometimes there's a lot of hidden costs there.
Yeah, location
Exactly.
is a real estate axiom. Now, what about any solutions? Do you have solutions in this book about how to, I hate to say crudely, fix Flint or lead Flint in a better direction?
Sure. Well, one of the things that I came to realize, and I think a lot of people have realized, is that there is no big fix, no quick fix for Flint. It took a long time to get us to this point. It's going to take some time to get us out of that. I think it's encouraging to see Flint concentrating on the assets it has, the higher education. I think the shrinking city plan that the land bank is implementing will help to get rid of some of these abandoned houses. But what I found was that for someone like me coming back to Flint, if you can connect one-on-one with someone and kind of do a micro project with someone and help in a small way, maybe we can add all those together and it's going to help the city.
Any other things that local folks will get out of this book? I mentioned some of the bars that you mentioned. It was interesting, some of those places that are now closed. Anything else that people will take away from this book with?
Well, I think what it might do is I'm connected with a lot of Flint expatriates who have left the city, and like me, they're looking for a way to help Flint. And I think this book kind of shows them that you can do that. Even though I live in San Francisco, it shows that you can reconnect with the city where you grew up, the place that made you who you are, and get involved again.
Thank you, Gordon.
Thanks,
Gordon
Joel.
Young. The book is called Tear Down, and he writes this blog for Flint expatriates, and we've got a link to that blog on our website, mynbcnews.com. Thanks again, Gordon.
Thanks a lot.